Hey, 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 happy Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to Sip and Strategy. I have my hot drink. I've got hot orange. Do you guys do that? Like get a dilute drink and yeah, have it hot. That's my tipple today. I would love to know what you are sipping on before we get into the strategy. Um, I would love to know what you're sipping on. I let me pull up the chat so I can see what you guys are sharing. Welcome to Sip and Strategy, guys. Hey, 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 Jackie, how are you? Good to see you. Let me know what you're sipping on. We are about to jump into strategy around getting visible on LinkedIn and why that's important, right, for a business owner. So these sessions, are just like a chat. We're going to probably be here for 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And I just want to share some insights with you around LinkedIn, especially if you are a service-based business owner. All right, so Jackie says she is sipping on a cappuccino today just for a change. Mrs. Eagle over on YouTube says peppermint tea. So that's normally in my jam. But to be fair, like my cupboard is filled with different teas, different herbal teas. I've got there's something that Hotel Chocolat sell is like a chocolate velvetizer. So depending on my mood, will dictate what I'm sipping on. All right, guys. So let me get into it because I don't want to keep you too long. And guys, I would be remiss not to say this. It's the 31st of Jan. So if you are in the UK and you haven't done your self-assessment return, come off this live, come back and watch the replay. Like, I don't want you getting fined or anything untoward with your taxes. It's D-Day and we need to make sure that we are on the ball and we have our submissions in. So that was just a little public service announcement. All right, let me pull up what I want to take you guys through. And this is all like exciting and new because I am utilizing a different platform. All right, let's see if I can find it. All right, that could be, hold on one moment, guys. Bear with. I don't think that's the right thing. All right, give me a second. Let me know in the chat, what is it that you are enjoying today for your sip? And then let's try and find this application. So it's not Slide. Okay, maybe it's other. You know, when you test these things before you go live and they work, and then, all right, so here, entire screen. Why can't I find my Canva? There we are. All right. I told you guys, we're figuring this thing out together. Let me come back here. Make that full screen. That should be full screen over here. Too many windows, too many things going on. So the strategy for today, what I'm talking about is visibility and why it matters, right? So as a service-based business owner, as any business owner, but the businesses that I support operate in the services arena. So they are either coaches, they're consultants, they're strategists, they're counselors, yeah, any plethora of service that can be delivered. Those are the typical businesses that I help with. All right, let's see. Do I need to keep flicking between screens to change my slides? Okay, this is going to be entertaining. All right, so why get visible? Why do you need to get visible? So at a high level, right, if I was to give you like the dictionary definition, getting visible on LinkedIn is important for a few things. First of all, for lead generation, right? So if you are wanting to generate leads, which I'm assuming the majority of us are, being visible on LinkedIn is important for lead generation. It's important for brand recognition, right? So when your brand, your business now starts to be recognized, right? I had an experience last year where I went to the Black Business show, and I had people coming up to me saying, LinkedIn lady, LinkedIn lady. That's brand recognition, right? Because I am intentionally getting visible. I'm showing up in all the places. And you eventually start to see that your hard work and your efforts are paying off. Um, I'm just checking that because I can't see you guys. And I just want to make sure that you can still see what I can see. So I appreciate you rocking with me as I work out the kinks. You can see. All right, perfect. I don't need to see myself. I can see that it's being streamed. All right, so brand recognition and then networking opportunities. So whether that is virtual networking or in person, being visible on LinkedIn works in your favor. If you've ever been networking, the first question that people sort of ask you is, are you on LinkedIn? And whenever I ask this question, there's always like a gasp and a sigh. And, you can see like the fear of God come on their face because they know that they have not been visible, they've not been active, and in now sharing their details, all of that's going to be uncovered. But the main thing, the big thing, is around driving revenue. So when you are visible, this is when opportunities, paid opportunities, come your way, whether that is with particular clients or maybe it's speaking opportunities. Maybe it's collaboration. Maybe someone asks you to collaborate and co-author a book, perhaps. By being visible, you position yourself as a thought leader, as an expert in your industry. All right, so that's the high level definition, but the layman's, let me take it like down a level, right? So without visibility, what that means is that there's no traffic, like nobody's coming over to your profile, nobody's coming over to your website, no one's coming over to your YouTube channel. And what does that result in? What's the crux of that? Without any traffic, it means you have no sales. It means that you are like the best kept secret. You're incredible at what you do, but because you're not visible, it means you don't get any traffic, and that results then in no sales. I don't know about you, but I'm here for business. I said that in a post on LinkedIn. Like, you came here for business, but you've got stuck in banter. We have to let the main thing be the main thing. And the reason why we are on whatever social platform we're on, it is to do business. So just as you would use an Excel spreadsheet to calculate your expenses and your income, we don't use it to, I don't know, write music. We use the tool for the purpose of the tool. And for business owners, that's not to say you can't use socials for fun and for pleasure. Absolutely, but that's a different arena and a different ball game. So if you are new to me, if you have jumped on this live, maybe somebody has shared the link with you, you've not come across me before, and this is the first time we are hanging out. Hey, friend, welcome to SIP, and we're doing the strategy. I don't get to sip much on these calls, so like, guys, enjoy whatever it is that you are sipping on. But yeah, I'm Shalina, and I am a LinkedIn lead gen strategist, which is a bit of a mouthful. So basically, I work with female entrepreneurs over the age of 40 to help them to generate leads into their business. These women are incredible at what they do. They're experts in what they do, but they struggle with getting in front of their audience, so marketing themselves. They struggle with maybe navigating the platform. They've never utilized it. Maybe they've camped over on Facebook or Instagram, and LinkedIn is an untapped space. So those are the women that I support. And I lean into the Gen X generation, so 40 and above, because I really feel like they are the unloved, forgotten generation, right? All the goodness and all the resources and opportunities seem to be going towards the Gen Zs and the millennials and the alphas, where the Gen X are just kind of overlooked. So your girl is holding the hands of female business owners, and helping them, right, to level up online, to level up on LinkedIn. But I don't know if you saw my post on LinkedIn today. Go check that out. What I do is broader than just LinkedIn. It is really about like how you leverage the online space. There's an ecosystem. So email marketing is essential. Get people off the platform into your email list. If you want to show up on video, right? So there's a strategy for video marketing, content marketing. So there's a whole ecosystem, as I say, around what I do and how I help. So thank you for allowing me to just share that with you. So getting into the content, right? So there is something I want to introduce you guys to, and I call this the visibility gap, right? So there's a chasm between you with your expertise, you with all the goodness that you have and what you know, and then on the other side is your ideal client, right? Who does not know that you exist, perhaps. They don't know that you can solve their problem. They don't know the frameworks that you have. That can really bring about transformation, right? So I call this the visibility gap. So over on this side is, you stood looking at this massive chasm, like, how do I get over there? And what I tend to find with women, especially, there are challenges, some self-imposed and some that are just the way that the world is at the moment, right? So in terms of the self-imposed things, because I can speak to that, I can't deal with the powers that be in the world, not right now anyway. But what I tend to find is that women struggle with confidence, right? The confidence to be visible, to um, share what you know, to say with your chest that you are an expert without feeling that you are bragging or you're being boastful or showy. And that goes back, into various different areas, but confidence is a thing, especially with the online space. So there can be a fear to show up, there can be a nervousness, imposter syndrome can set in, right? So if we do show up and nobody engages, what can happen is that like imposter syndrome sets in and we start to feel as though, or maybe we don't know what we thought we knew. Maybe we are not great at what we do. So that can be a barrier and a struggle, right? And it's real. And maybe it's inconsistency. So we're so busy spinning our wheels, doing the business and doing the thing that we don't have the time to show up. We don't consistently post content. We don't consistently engage. So these are some of the hurdles, some of the challenges that stops us from like connecting with our ideal client who is over on the other side. So what are like some of the benefits, right, to you being on the other side? What's the things that it affords you? So that recognition, that thought leadership that you are able to attain, that recognition. So I spoke about like brand awareness, that you're top of mind when someone thinks of a problem or a pain point, you're the first name that comes to mind. Um, so recognition and authority. Also that consistency, right? Much the same as you are, I hope, consistent with filing your tax return. Like view social media, view showing up on LinkedIn as something that is just a part of business, is something that you do consistently, because we know that it's beneficial, it's a tool for our business. So we consistently present ourselves and show up. And maybe it's not having an engaged or having an engaged audience. So by being visible, what you eventually start to do is build a community, right? So people that look out for you, they look for you to show up. So if you have a LinkedIn newsletter, for example, and you post that every Wednesday, people are looking out for your content. If it's good, if it's valuable, if it speaks to their pain points or their aspirations, they're engaged, they respond, they repost and share your content, right? And then what all of this leads to, one of the best benefits, is a steady flow of opportunities, leads, clients. Your pipeline is full with these leads and clients. So we want to definitely get from over this side over to the beneficial side. And what does that take? That takes for a bridge. There's something that has to fill that gap, and get you from point A to point B, right? So I am gonna just unpack some of those things and what they look like, and kind of dig into a little bit of that. So clarity on your value, right? So having clarity is one of the things that gets you from like being invisible to being visible and getting in front of your ideal person. So it's clarity on the value that you bring, right, with that service. What's the transformation that you can get for somebody? And when you're clear on that, you show up differently, right? You don't dim your light. You don't kind of take a back step, because you know that what you do is transformational. You're helping to save someone money, perhaps to make someone money, to get someone out of pain, to get somebody from poor health to improved health, maybe from a poor mindset to a growth mindset. The transformation that you bring is beneficial. So when you understand when you understand your value, you have clarity, you can show up with confidence, and that like plays out in your profile, right? So you say confidently in your headline on LinkedIn, you say confidently on your banner, on the way you engage, because you know what it is that you carry and you know the value that you bring. The second thing is around consistency when it comes to content, right? So being able to respond to customer problems, customer challenges, objections perhaps that they have in their mind through your content, right? So you're being a helpful resource. You are showing up consistently, right? Whatever that looks like for you. So consistently for you could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to be posting consistently on those days. It could be you post Monday, Friday, and that's you. Whatever consistency is, do that, right? Because what you're doing is you're building trust. You're building trust in the mind of your network. You're building trust in the mind of advocates who want to share your work, who want to share what it is that you do. But if you are flim flam, if I can say that, if you are not consistent, you show up one day, then you don't show up the next, people lose trust in you, your credibility kind of goes down. So, yeah, consistent content is important for a business owner. And then engagement, right? So I always say to, I call them my LinkedIn ladies. I say to my LinkedIn ladies, you can post once a day. I wouldn't recommend posting more than once a day, but you can post once a day. However, you can engage like 20 times on somebody else's content, right? And in doing that, what you're achieving is increased visibility. So all of a sudden, like it starts to snowball and you are seen almost, it feels like everywhere. Like you're adding value on somebody's content, you're commenting, you're leaving insightful value, you're asking questions, getting conversations going. That is important And I think it's one of the pitfalls that people fall into on LinkedIn. If they post, they think, okay, I've done what I need to do, and then they bounce. So they post and they ghost. They don't engage. They don't even come back to engage on the comments that someone has left on their content. So engagement is really important. And that's how you build rapport, right? That's how you start to relationship build with people who engage with your comments, because then we can take it from the comments to the DMs, right? And in the DMs, this is where now I can start having a one-to-one conversation with you and understanding what your pain points are, what your challenges are. And I've got an opportunity to maybe like get a free resource into your hands to give you some value before I then mention my offer or mention how I can solve your problem. So we never pitch slap people. That's not what we do out here. But through engagement, you are able to relationship build, and that is really essential on LinkedIn. All right, so confidence. Like the more you do, it's like a muscle, right? So the more you do it, the more confident you get. Like start with the low hanging fruit, start with like a quick easy thing that you can do, right? So what does that look like? I'm looking over here to see if I'm still live on YouTube. I hope so. So what does that look like in terms of a quick win, in terms of something that's easy for you to do? Sharing a customer win, a client win, a client success. Like this is easily done. If you're getting results for your clients, share that, right? You're not making stuff up. You're sharing what's actually happened. But that's an easy way to begin to show up. Maybe you share a bit of a framework that you utilize. So with any piece of content on LinkedIn, you want to start with a hook, you want to give the value, and then you want to have a call to action. So in doing that, as you do that, as I say, it's like a muscle, you start to grow in confidence. I really want to like flick back and just check what's happening in the comments. All right, there's nothing. No questions. Jackie says brand recognition. That's great as long as people don't call out to me and say, get a corset, flabby lady. Hilarious, Jackie. Oh my gosh, hilarious. So Jackie is a copy editor, and her slogan or tagline is like a corset for flabby writing, or not flabby writers, flabby writing, because she tightens up your writing. Yeah, that would be a whole problem if somebody shouted that out to you. That is hilarious. You've like you've got me off course. Let me get back on course. All right, so I spoke about the engagement, right? So what tends to happen is that people lurk on LinkedIn, right? So conversations are happening around us. We can see here, these two gentlemen are having a whole conversation, a juicy conversation. And this lovely lady here is more concerned with like sipping her tea. Maybe she should join Sip and Strategy. But like, she's not getting involved in the conversation, right? If you have connected with the right people, so the content that's shown in your feed is relevant. You've connected with the right people. The conversations are relevant to what you do. You don't only want to have a seat at the table, you want to have a voice. You want to engage in the conversations that are happening, lean into them, share your thoughts, share your expertise, your experience. Maybe, you ask questions, you share, like, this is what I'm seeing in my industry, or this is what I'm seeing with my clients. Um, engage, ask questions, have a voice as well as a seat at the table on LinkedIn. So I hope that was like illustrative of, I need you to get involved. I need you to engage as a business owner on the platform. All right. So why posting regularly matters, if I haven't illuminated that. As I've said, consistency helps people to remember you. It builds trust. It positions you as the go-to expert in your field. You are now known for the thing that you do, so that people can mention your name rather, in rooms that you're not in. This is starting to happen for me, which is amazing. I thank God for that. But that has come about by like putting myself out there, by being bold and not allowing some of those challenges and barriers that we spoke about earlier to get in the way. So I wanted to just show you an illustrative, I like to illustrate things, um, example of what content gets to look like, right? So as a business owner, when you put content out there, it's like you having your own stage, right? Your own platform where people turn up to engage with what you have to say, right? So it's like turning up to Wembley Arena for that concert. You know, you're on the platform and you're doing the thing. But there's like a mindset shift that kind of has to happen, right? When it comes to content and being on LinkedIn. So your content does not have to be perfect. That's like half of the battle. We feel like it has to be amazing for us to start, or, you know, we have to understand all of the aspects of the platform before we even begin. Like, if you know how to post, like, start there. Don't try to go live until you've figured out posting. So let's unpack what's happening in this setup here. So you can see my guy over here. I've put an asterisk by him. He is on the guitar doing, you know, what he does. The guitarist represents like your engagement strategies, right? So she's continuing doing what she's doing. What the guitarist is doing is like providing the harmony, right? So he's keeping the harmony going. That's you engaging on content. That's him supporting your message. Your content is there. As I've said, you've posted once, but now we look for opportunities to engage with content. We look for opportunities not to market on other people's content, but we look for opportunities to present ourselves as that expert in our arena, in our niche. And what you find is that when you do that, people are nosy. I was going to try and find a big word, I couldn't think of one. They're nosy. So if they see that you've posted and what you said is valuable and is interesting, they're going to click your profile and come over and check you out. So they're what you're doing in engaging is you are seed sowing. So what he's doing is amplifying your reach, right? So through the conversations, through the comments that you're having, that's the engagement that is amplifying your content. Just by default of how the kind of platform works. Right. So over here we have the drummer, and the drums are probably one of my favorite instruments. Yeah, random fact. But the drummer is what keeps the rhythm going, right? So he is the consistency, that beat, that pace that just keeps going, like doesn't miss a beat. That's your consistency when it comes to content. So regularly showing up on LinkedIn, as I've spoken about, is what builds trust. It's what builds credibility. And it's what keeps your audience coming back for more. They know that they can trust you to deliver value. They know that, you know, you're not continually promoting, you are actually showing up to offer help and to offer assistance. And then if we look at the lady in the middle, so this is the content, right? So, you know, I don't know. Are her moves perfect? They don't look so perfect to me, but she's there, right? She's showing up, she's on the stage. And that's what I really need for you to work through. As I said, there's like a mindset shift that has to happen. I need for you to show up with your content, to add value, to answer questions. I was doing a workshop yesterday and I was sharing that with like someone making a buy-in decision. If there are unanswered questions, people don't purchase, they don't make a buy-in decision if there are questions that have been unanswered. We can answer those questions through our content, right? So before you get onto a sales call and you get berated with 10 zillion questions, why not answer those in your content ahead of time, right? So when they discover you on the platform and they are digging into your content, you're just kind of like ticking, tick, tick. Okay, I understand that. Tick, she's answered that. This is her framework. This is what she does. This is who she works with. So you are the star of the show. You're the star of the show. But without your content, the audience has nothing to connect with. So it is really important that you do get on that stage, get your content out there as a business owner. That's how we get visible. That's how we transact on LinkedIn. So just quickly, I'm going to be wrapping up soon. I wanted to share this. This was a post I did a while ago. The gurus will tell you to utilize various repositories to find like content ideas, content pieces. So whether that is going to Quora or Reddit or Ask Socrates, there's all these various databases or repositories. And they're good, they are. But I think what's better is leaning into your own repositories, right? So what questions are you getting from clients? What questions are common? What things come up regularly? Maybe you create a piece of content based on that. So, the questions that I get, are always, should I have LinkedIn Premium? What time should I post is a common one. If one person has the question, chances are other people have the question as well. So what questions are you getting and what content could you create? I'm not going to read through all of them, but I would encourage you to repurpose your top posts. So the things that work, do more of that. Maybe you've got opinions on your niche, right? So you might see some things that you agree with or disagree with. Maybe what you create content with is countercultural or it's against the status quo. Those are great content pieces that get engagement, but don't just come for things just because. If you genuinely have an opinion on something, then feel free to kind of create content around it. Maybe you share insights from an event. So you go to an industry event and your post is around the insights that you took from it. What was the learning? Who did you meet? Tag those people in. Be wary though with the tagging thing. So with LinkedIn and the algorithm, if you're tagging people and those individuals are not responding to your post or to the tag, what it tells the algorithm, they almost view that as like you're spamming, because they're thinking, okay, you've said that you and Mary were in this event together, so you've tagged her. Mary has not engaged with your post. She has not said anything. The algorithm then kind of like suspiciously views that. So what you could do is kind of give Mary a heads up. I'm going to post and I'm going to tag you, like be sure to engage. So I see people like adding lists of people into posts, and perhaps it's not with their permission, and that can be viewed as spammy. So that was like a bit of a detour, but I just wanted to share that with you. And okay, so just quickly, I want to take you through, let me see how many more slides I have. Okay, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. Keep sipping and we will wrap this up. Free content formats that I recommend for LinkedIn currently. All right, so the first thing is polls. I would encourage you as a business owner to lean into polls. They are great for engagement. And the more that you get engagement, the more the algorithm sees that what you're posting is valuable. So it will send it out to more people. It tests with a small group first, and then it sends it to more people, the more engagement that you get. So polls are great. And you don't want to have questions that are challenging, you kind of want it to just be, I don't have to think too hard. I can just select my answer. That's one way of using polls, but they're also great for market research. So if you want to come up perhaps with a new service offering, or you want to test an idea, given that you've curated your network, they would be engaged and would want to respond to your polls. So polls are great. Carousels are awesome, and they're really useful if you have perhaps something that's quite complex to explain. In a post, you get 3,000 characters. You might need to explain something over a series or a batch of slides. So using a carousel is great for that. Again, for the algorithm, what it shows the algorithm is that your content is worthy of people kind of hanging around um, on it. So there's something called dwell time on LinkedIn. So the longer that they stay, the algorithm deems that to be a signal of value. So as I'm swiping, I'm reading, I'm dwelling longer. So the algorithm pushes it out to more for that reason. And then the third thing I would say is video. Right now, video is blowing up on LinkedIn. If you are not over there, you may not be aware. We now have, I say we, like me and LinkedIn are partners, but LinkedIn now has like the TikTok feed, right? So the continuous short form videos, 60 to 90 seconds, short, snappy videos. I was saying in the workshop, they are not the TikTok videos in the sense of people jumping off crates or doing wild and wacky things. They are, they have a educational and insightful, they're developed and created in such a way that somebody can come away having watched your 60-second reel, I'll call it for now, just for lack of a better word, but they come away uh, having learned something that they could implement in their business or in their career. And maybe, like, because you've given that value, they now want to take the next step with you as a business owner. So videos are a content format that I recommend. And I think we are at the end of the strategy that I wanted to share with you guys. So let me come back here. Let me stop sharing the slides, if I can figure out how to do that. Let me stop sharing. What questions do you guys have? I would love to answer any questions that you have that I can answer in the last few minutes that I have left. I'm trying to get the slides off. Bear with me, guys. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll leave it like this. Let me know, what questions do you have? Let me see. So Jackie has said, re-tagging people, I didn't realize you should ask permission before tagging. Yeah, I think it's just like courtesy. Like, especially if it's something that you just want to get somebody's attention around, like, there's better ways to do that. Maybe in the comments, you could kind of at them in that way. But in your main post, if you are tagging people and they're not engaging, oh, okay, I see it. There we are. Your girl figured it out. So if you're tagging people and they're not engaging, it sends a signal to LinkedIn. So let me see if there are any questions either on YouTube or on Facebook. Hey Kate, I've just seen your hi, it's Kate from I Mean Business. Lovely to see you. I hope you're well. Yeah, guys, was this helpful? Like, has it helped you get invisible on LinkedIn? I really hope so. Visibility, it's a muscle. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. So I would definitely encourage you to put your big girl pants on and, like, show up for your business. Guys, let me give you back the rest of your Friday. If the self-assessment return isn't in, like, we've got time. We can do this. We can do this. So guys, have an amazing rest of your day and have a wonderful and amazing weekend when that arrives. I will be back for another sip and strategy. Like, leave me a comment and let me know. So previously I did them on a Wednesday at 3 p.m. This is the first time that I've gone live on a Friday at 1. Like, let me know if this time works better, or maybe on a Wednesday at 1. Like, give me your feedback, let me know. But yeah, have an amazing weekend and we will catch up soon.